The season is winding down, but there's still plenty to play for. It's tournament number 10 to be crossed off for 2011. For all the big names in all the big games, this is the BWF Super Series. Welcome to our BWF Highlights show for 2011, hot on the heels of the Danish Open, and this time coming from the most romantic city in the world, Paris, France, where the French Badminton Association held the French Open at the beautiful Stade Pierre de Coubertin in the heart of one of Europe's most historical capitals. It's the 10th tournament of the 2011 Super Series calendar and could hold a certain romance all of its own for a few of the players and pairs, and especially world number 1 in the men's singles Chong Wei, who arrived in Paris hungry for a win after not taking top spot in some 3 months due to the electric form of China's world number 3 Chen Long, who was looking for his 4th consecutive Super Series title in France. Plenty of headlines were sure to be produced, along with $200,000 and BWF World Ranking points, which have already guaranteed some players their entry to the end of season grand finals to be held in Lijiao, China. That's the big one, where the top 8 in each of the men's and women's singles, doubles and mixed doubles disciplines, with a quota of 2 players or pairs per country for each discipline, on the World Super Series standings will battle for a share of a massive $500,000 prize kitty. But first to France, with the men's and women's singles, mixed and women's doubles, and the men's doubles, where we start. Chai Yun Haifeng made the quarters and semis again easily, along with Hashimoto Nirata, who disposed of Adcock Ellis with a rubber set. The last semi-final spots were filled by the Danes of Matthias Boer and Carsten Morgensen, making it consecutive semi-finals for them, and Jung Jae-sung and Lee Yong-dae searching for their 3rd title in a row. Sadly for Boer and Morgensen, just like all the other pairs that have come up against the in-form Koreans of Jung Jae-sung and Lee Yong-dae, they didn't stand a chance, as the winners from Denmark totally controlled the game from the outset, winning 17-21, 17-21 to set up another mouth-watering final with, you guessed it, Chai Yun and Haifeng, who beat Hashimoto and Nirata, but only with a rubber set, 21-11, 13-21, 21-9.
Yong-dae to serve to Chai Yun. Love all. Play.
So the world number 2s from Korea, Jung Jae-sung and Lee Yong-dae,
Service over. 1
up against
love.
these world champions. Fu Haifeng, he's the left-hander. Chai Yun, his partner. Oh, good flick serve. Great rally. Oh, indecision. Oh, super rally. Five straight points from the Koreans. Ah, that's better from Fu Haifeng.
Service over.
He hasn't had many opportunities to
13,
hit the big smash. Fu Haifeng, but that was certainly one of them. Down the net. Yeah, there's the big smash coming into play. There's the big powerful smash from the big left-hander Fu Haifeng, and the opening game to the current world champions, 21-14. Unbelievable defence. For Yong got up from the floor. It is 1 game all. He's got back the net court, he's smashed his racket to smithereens, he's played it again. Oh my goodness! Missed opportunity. Got it back. The shuttle is broken. And so I think are the Chinese. It is 9 match points for Jung Jae-sung and Lee Yong-dae of Korea. Two titles in 2 weeks. 2 victories over the world champions.
14-21, 21-15.
Jung Jae-sung and Lee Yong-dae, their 24th career title, their 15th Super Series title. Add to that, of course, the Super Series finals title from 2009. But their 6th title this year.
With a chance for revenge after Denmark, world number ones Chai Yun and Fu Haifeng were set on ending a run of 2 consecutive defeats to their arch-rivals, whom they have met on 17 different occasions throughout the years. The South Koreans went ahead 9-8 when they beat their Chinese rivals in Odense a week before this. Sunday's victory meant they stretched their lead to 10-8 and marked the 3rd consecutive time they've beaten Chai Yun, Fu Haifeng in a BWF World Superseries final following triumphs in China, Denmark and now France. Chai Yun and Fu Haifeng had actually taken the lead when they won the opening game 21-14, but Jae-sung Yong-dae refused to lie down and came charging back to win the second 21-15. With their tails up, the South Koreans then dominated the 3rd game and ended this energy-sapping but thrilling encounter 21-11 to end a 56-minute match. Still to come on our BWF Highlights show, with the exception of the India Open, which China skipped, the Chinese women have won all 8 women's singles and doubles Super Series titles they have contested in. It's been an exercise in perfection. But could they pull it off again? As the women's doubles pairs took to the court in France, it was bad news for the second week running for India's Jwala Gutta and Ashwini Ponnappa in the women's doubles. The Indian duo, beaten by Singapore's Shinta Mulayasari and Lei Yao at the second round in Denmark, were this time shown the door at the same stage by Koreans Ha and Kim in straight games. 21-13, 21-12. Not good at all for the bronze medalists at the World Championships. As the week progressed, the world again witnessed the growing power of Japan in this category, as 3 of the 8 quarterfinal pairs were from that country. The highest-rated Fuji and Kakiwa, Maeda Suetsana and Matsuo Naito. Only Fuji and Kakiwa would make the last 4 though, along with the top 2 seeds from China, Wang Xiaoli Yang Yu and Chanqing Zhao Yunlei, who both breezed through the quarters in straight games. The final semis berth went to the Koreans of Ha and Kim. World number 1s Wang Xiaoli and Yong were given a slight scare at the semi-final stage 7 days earlier in Denmark, but showed great composure in France and comprehensively took apart Mizuki Fuji and Reika Kakiwa in straight games, 21-8, 22-20, with power, precision and total control both in the front and back courts. They would meet Qingqian and Zhao Yunlei in the final, who were awarded a walkover in their match against Koreans Ha and Kim.
Zhao Yunlei to serve to Wang Xiaoli, level, play.
So the world champions nearest to us against the World Championships silver medalists.
Service over.
Well, just been saying about Tianqing and Zhao Yunlei only playing 2 matches to get through to this final. Their opponents have played 4 matches.
Service over. 1
and won all 4 matches in 2 straight games, including the semi-final yesterday against number 3 seeds Mizuki Fuji and Reika Kakiwa. That's clever play from Zhao Yunlei.
Service over.
Yeah, run of points comes to an end.
15.
That is sensational. What a shot.
18-17.
Well, now does it on the forehand side.
Service over.
That's good drive defence though from Tianqing.
19-20.
Oh, wonderful take off the top of the tape from Zhao Yunlei. But short. Yeah.
Service over.
And this time they convert. 26-24.
First game won by Wang Xiaoli.
Yeah, there's the creative play again. Yeah, Wang Xiaoli. Oh, yes.
Service over.
That's nice. Found the gap. Oh, super.
Service over.
And now,
match point 15.
Applied the pressure at exactly the right time. 6 of the last 7 points going their way. And there's the victory. 26-24, thrilling opening game. 21-15 in the second. Xiaoli and Yong, champions once more. For an 8th time this year, they stand on top of the podium.
Voilà, remerciement à nouveau à Joachim Fischer, à Paul André.
World champions Wang Xiaoli and Yong's 26-24, 21-15 victory over teammates and world number 2s Changqing and Zhao Yunlei meant they have won 8 titles in 2011. The BWF Super Series Finals 2010, the Korea Open Super Series Premier, the All England Open Super Series Premier, the Badminton Asian Championships, the Indonesia Open Super Series Premier, World Championships, the Denmark Open Super Series Premier, and the French Open. Of those 8 titles, they've also created a natural rivalry and nemesis after having beaten the unfortunate Changqing and Zhao Yunlei in 5 finals since losing their first encounter at the Malaysia Open final in January, including losses in the finals of the Korea Open, Badminton Asia Championships, and World Championships. There is no doubting that with stats like this and their amassed world ranking points, they will surely be at the Super Series Finals again at the end of this season, which would give them the chance to defend their finals title. We're just getting started on this BWF Highlights show, and up next it's open season with 5 different winners in the last 5 Super Series tournaments. The mixed doubles appears to be the most open category of all. Find out what happened in just a bit. You're back on our BWF Highlights show for 2011, checking in with the mixed doubles draw, where the biggest story in the early days of the event was unseeded South Koreans Lee Yong-dae, Ha Jung-eun defeating 5th-seeded defending champions Sudket Prapakamol and Xiaoli Tongtongkam of Thailand 21-18, 20-22, 21-16, stopping the Thai pair from making the quarterfinals, which was a case of the usual suspects in Paris. Though the mixed doubles has been by far the most openly competitive category in 2011, everything went to plan for the top 4 seeded pairs, 2 from China, world champions Zhang and Zhao and Zhu Chen Ma Jin, along with the Danes of Fischer Pedersen and the Indonesian pairing of Liliana Natsir and Tantowi Ahmad, who seem to be regaining their feet after a thunderous run of wins in June, which they've so far failed to emulate in the second half of the season. But the Indonesian pair, who now haven't tasted victory since the Singapore Open, saw the tide turn against them in their semi against Zhu Chen and Ma Jin. After looking relatively comfortable in their first game, winning at 21-16, the Chinese pair upped the ante and took control of the game, forcing the issue at times and coming away with the next 2 games, 21-14, 21-11, to set up another final for them, this time against Joachim Fischer and Christinna Pedersen, who again beat the world champions Zhang and Zhao in 3 games.
Just 1 point required now. 9 match points.
Match point 11.
Yeah, first time of asking. So coming back, having dropped the opening game, the world number 2 ranked pair, Zhu Chen and Ma Jin, overcoming Tunturi Ahmad and Liliana Natsia, 16-21, 21-14, 21-11 in the deciding game.
16-21. Level. Play.
So the world number 2 ranked pair, the far side of the court, Zhu Chen and Ma Jin. The number 3 ranked pair from Denmark, Joachim Fischer Nielsen and Christinna Pedersen.
Serves over.
This the 4th meeting
1-love
between these two pairs, 4th meeting this year, because of course Zhu Chen and Ma Jin only formed their partnership earlier this year. In fact, only their 2nd ever tournament, the All England Championships, Premier Super Series event. Of course, they won, beating Sukkit Prakamol and Sara Lee from Tongkam in that final in Birmingham. It's a good return. Yeah. Another good serve. That's nice. Lovely play from Zhu Chen. Oh, confusion. Oh, that's dangerous. Oh, but in the end, plays a wonderful drop shot as an outright winner. It's gone wide. Yeah, first time of asking, and Joachim Fischer Nielsen and Christinna Pedersen of Denmark take the opening game 21-17. Interesting the way Pedersen finished off that. She was very aware. Certainly thought that the shuttle was okay. It's a good flick serve, and even the speed of Zhu Chen couldn't get behind it.
8-all.
Once again, 2 Chinese players leaving it for the other. And Ma Jin is absolutely incensed with her partner. Oh. Well, the reaction tells the story. Absolutely delighted with that rally was Joachim Fischer. 3 points away from their 3rd title of the year. Just 2 points required. Oh! Got in each other's way yet again. Well, they only formed their partnership earlier this year, but my goodness, they've been really exposed today when under pressure. They haven't known what the other is doing. Means that the Danes have 6 match points. Their 2nd title in 2 weeks. What a fortnight. they've had. Joachim Fischer Nielsen and Christinna Pedersen. They survived a match point last night against the current world champions. 21-17, 21-14 in 43 minutes.
What a fortnight they've had. Tactically, they were superb today, implemented those tactics, played a tight game, and absolutely no signs of fatigue from their 1 hour and 12 minutes semi-final yesterday evening.
A week ago in Odense, Nielsen Pedersen defeated world champions Zhang Zhao Yunlei in the semi-finals and world number 2's Zhu Chen Ma-jin in the final of the Denmark Open. They repeated that feat this time around, beating the world number 1s in 3 games in Saturday's semi-final, and then in a repeat of last week's final, defeated Zhu Chen Ma-jin 21-17, 21-14 for their 2nd consecutive BWF World Superseries crown. It was also their 5th Super Series win of their career. They've won the Denmark Open on 2 other occasions, in 2008 and 2009, and won their first Asian Super Series crown in Hong Kong last year. It was a marvelous performance from the Danes, who rose to 3rd in the world rankings after their win last week and to number 2 in the BWF World Super Series rankings. Zhang Zhao Yunlei, though, may have lost the battle, but again are still winning the war. ZZ are still top in both categories. On the way, Tina Bourne, Saina Nehwal and Julianne Schenker, the only 3 women who have come close to upsetting the flawless rhythm of the 3 Wangs in the women's singles. Could any of them up their game and steal the prize in Paris? Stay tuned. You're back on our BWF Highlights show with the women's singles tournament, which saw another great giant-killing run from a new sensation from Chinese Taipei. She's only 17 years old and already the US Open champion. And again, Tai Tzu Ying took advantage of her speed and strength to beat Tina Bourne in the opening round, then followed that up with a creditable straight games win over Hong Kong's Yip Hui Yin. This draw also saw the biggest shock of all, as Wang Xin was dumped out of the competition in the first round by Sung Ji Hyun, but the Korean would not survive the quarterfinals, where the Indian Open winner, Thailand's Porntip Buranaprasertsik, bested her with a rubber set. Wang Yihan, who also surprisingly fell at the quarters to Taipei's Tsai Tzu in a straight games. The other 2 semi-spots were filled by Wang Xin and the unseeded Li Zuri, another Chinese player with a point to prove. After Inathon Ratchanok's semi-final in Denmark, it was a 2nd consecutive tie player in the last 4, as Indian Open winner and the only non-Chinese winner of a women's singles Super Series title, Porntip Buranaprasertsik, took on the only remaining Wang, Xin. But after winning the first game 21-14, the Chinese star turned on the style, taking the next 2 in commanding fashion 21-4, 21-7 to book her place in the final, where she would meet another Chinese player, as Li Zuri ended Tai Tzu Ying's great run with a 21-9, 21-19 win.
Flick serve is long.
Service over, 20, match point, 7.
To Wang Xin.
Game.
Just 35 minutes for 3 games. 15-21, 21-4, 21-7 in the decider. And the former world number 1, Wang Xin, safely through to her 2nd final in 2 weeks.
15-21, 21.
Belu of Estonia is our umpire.
Play.
So the unseeded 20-year-old
Service over.
Xiaoli.
1 love.
This is only Li's 2nd ever Super Series final. First was, of course, here last year, beaten in the 2010 final by Wang Yihan. Now this is the 4th meeting between these 2 players. previous 3 have all been won by this lady, the left-handed Wang Xin.
1.
Of course, the last time they played was in the quarter-final last week in Denmark. Oh, that's a super angle.
Service over.
Oh, for 14 all, Wang Xin really has just applied the pressure. There's another wonderful angle. Yep.
Game.
Delightful. 21-15. 7 of the last 8 points of that game going Wang Xin's way.
First game won by Wang Xin. Service over.
Desperately close. Hit the top of the tape, had a little think about it, and then fell
7,
back. Xiaoli's side. Own a match. The 20-year-old is improving all the time.
Fault. 20. 11.
Oh, that is brilliant. What a shot. What a way to stop the run of points.
16.
Oh, that's perfect. Just wide. Wow. Oh, the deficit.
17-19.
Oh, just 2 points. Always called good.
18-19.
Make your own minds up. That one's definitely wide, no question of that. And therefore the error from Xiaoli. This time, second time of asking. And a second title for Wang Xin in 2 weeks. One in Denmark a week ago, and here at the Yonex French Open. Her 4th title of the year, her 3rd Super Series, her 2nd Super Series in 2 weeks. What a great year she's having. Wang Xin of China, making her first ever appearance at the French Open. She takes the title. President of the French Olympic Committee making the presentations.
She's a former world #1. If she keeps winning, she might be on top again. Wang Xin, the Chinese ace, had never won a World Super Series title in Europe previously, a week before this tournament, and now followed up that piece of personal history in Denmark by winning her second consecutive European Super Series crown on final Sunday. A week after beating world champion and fellow Chinese Wang Xin took on another teammate, this time in the shape and form of Li Zuru. Chasing her third BWF World Super Series crown of the year, following wins in Singapore and Denmark, Wang Xin came out firing on all cylinders in the final. She pinned down Li Zuru with some deceptive shots and finally carved out a 21-15, 21-19 victory in 39 minutes for her fourth victory from as many meetings with her teammate. An amazing performance, and one that would have definitely caught the attention of her countrywomen Yihan and Xixian, who were sidelined before the semi-finals. Just around the corner on our BWF Highlights show, Chong Wei has played in 10 International Open tournaments and reached the final every time, winning 6. But Paris was all about Chen Long, looking for 4 in a row. The men's singles up next. This is the BWF Highlights show for 2011 at the French Open, with the men's singles that sadly saw the end of an amazing run this year by Peter Gade, who was ousted in the second round by Hong Kong's Hu Yun. Gade had played in 8 of the 9 previous Super Series tournaments of the year and had reached the quarterfinals or better in all 8 of them, but not this time. Looking for his 4th consecutive Super Series title, Chen Long was awarded yet another walkover against Wang Xin and made the semi-finals along with Chong Wei, who as usual cruised his way into the final 8, then final 4. Japan's Kenichi Tago also made it into the last 4, beating Hu Yun 21-13, 21-18, 21-17, while Lindan was also stretched to 3 sets, Chen Jin finally coming through 21-11, 19-21, 16-21. It's a shame they couldn't meet in the final for the 3rd consecutive time, but for Chong Wei, it didn't matter. It was close. In fact, he survived 3 game points in the opening game before Chen Long leveled the match when he took control of the second game to win 21-17. The decider, though, belonged to Chong Wei, who dominated the front of the court, scoring 13 winners with his neat flicks and drops. After 77 minutes, the Malaysian emerged with a precious 22-21, 17-21, 21-15 win. He would meet Kenichi Tago in the final after the Japanese player was the latest lucky recipient of an injury to 4-time world champion Lin Dan, which forced him to retire in the second game.
Oh, the luck of the net court. Only making his 3rd appearance here, is through to the final once more. What a remarkable athlete he is. What a remarkable record he's got going.
Kenichi Tago to serve. Love all. Play.
That's gone wide. Good play from Tago.
Service over.
Chinese teammates all sitting watching this men's singles final.
Oh, what a backhand! Extraordinary shot from Kenichi Tago. Suddenly, from nowhere, plays a winner.
rally. And the final smash from Kenichi Tago. Oh, don't believe it. Missed it. Oh, he was ready and waiting for that. Wasn't fooled by the backhand this time. Tago hit. He can't see where his opponent is. Plays the straight drop. And with that good anticipation come 4 game points for the Malaysian. And he needed the one. 21-16. An open game to the world number 1, Chong Wei. Well, 10 of 11 points now.
6.
Exhibition stuff. Yeah. The body smash. Clever play from the world number 1. 9 match points. Champion once again. The world's best player, world number 1, wins his 7th title of the year. The 20th time that Chong Wei has won a Super Series title. The Malaysian fans celebrate.
Chong Wei cemented his position as the number 1 shuttler in the world when he won his 7th title of the year and 39th of his career. Using precision smashes and great defense, Chong Wei denied Japan's Kenichi Tago the opportunity to win his first World Super Series title with a devastating 21-16, 21-11 victory in just 39 minutes. It was his 8th victory over Tago from his many matches, and the second time Chong Wei has defeated the Japanese ace in a Super Series final, the first coming in last year's All-England tournament in Birmingham. It was also a belated birthday present for the Malaysian, who turned 29 on October 21st. His victory in Paris means he has now won an incredible 20 Super Series titles from 48 such tournaments since 2007. Chong Wei won 3 Super Series titles in 07, twice more in 08, 4 times in 09, 6 in 2010, and so far in 2011, he's won in Malaysia, England, India, Indonesia, and France. With Jung Jae-sung, Lee Yong-dae beating world champions Chai Yun and Fu Haifeng of China in the men's doubles final, it means that 4 of the winners from the preceding week's Denmark Open were also champions in Paris, with Wang Xin in the women's singles. Nielsen and Pedersen in the mixed doubles, meaning the men's and women's doubles pairings have won back-to-back titles. Only Malaysia's Chong Wei, who defeated Japan's Kenichi Tago to win the men's singles final, failed to win in Odense 7 days ago. How quickly time flies as we find ourselves closing in on the end of another BWF Super Series season. Paris was the 10th tournament and the penultimate Super Series tournament. As of the 2 left in the 12-stop calendar, one of them is the 5th and final Super Series premier event for the year. Hard to believe that so far this year the players have traveled through Malaysia, Korea, Singapore and Japan, to name but a few. Now it's time to make a return to Asia, as Hong Kong is number 11 on the list, and then a return to China for event number 12 to close out the regular season. But they will then stay in China for, as always, the Super Series Masters Finals to be staged in Lijiao will end off the year and open up the 2012 season. So join us for all the best action right here. That's all for now. We'll see you next time on your BWF Highlights show for 2011. Goodbye.